Welcome back YouTubers to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're following me right now and you're new to my channel, I'm AspieAnswersAll. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life story of what goes down with me on my everyday journey of Asperger's syndrome, depression, OCD, anxiety and the like. Basically, I just welcome you newbies into my world of, sometimes many people may call it chaos, but I won't call it that. It's just a world of just hoping to get together and actually understand one another in one way or another. And all further ado, guys, basically I welcome also back to your oldies. Hopefully some of these videos has been enlightening and actually has been giving you a heads up to what's going on and understanding of me as a person, as well as just everyday topics I feel to share. That's, you know, as I said, mental health awareness versus just health in general versus just my everyday life story. That some of this entailing of some of this, you know, stuff that goes down at the moment isn't in my book, as I addressed to you all before about this book basically, and that at the moment, you know, I'm thinking on doing a second part of it. I'm not sure as of yet, but we'll see how my first one comes about anyway. So no further ado, this one's part of the AS and employment series, which basically, as you know, I'm just recently graduated basically at this point of time through a polytech here in New Zealand. I'm not going to label the name where it is. Many people may know if the ones are from NZ that has seen me around, you know, in this part of the woods. But also, this one's going to be called basically like personal profiles for hiring or employing. Are they keeping us from interview or jobs for people with, you know, autism in general? Okay, as I said before, I have been on and off job seeking for quite some time, basically. If you've come to my channel as a newbie, basically this is what's happening, as well as to the oldies. I'm still job seeking at this current time, obviously, as you know, or most of you know, but it has been a real daunting and exhausting task for me, you know, trying to get up and go and actually, you know, do what I have to do for me, you know, as I have to. You know, no one else can do it but myself, obviously, with the right frame of mind and attitude and thinking and everything else besides it. But as you know, also, I've been on and off, as you know, seeking jobs, basically, in the past few years while I'm studying. I had gained some odd jobs here and there throughout my years of study at this polytech that I've been here, as well as some voluntary work and training in general, just to gain more skills and opportunities to open up, you know, more doors or avenues for me to gain future employment in my chosen field of work where I want to be it, you know, some people may think I'm just good at on the computer screen, you know, typing away silently, minding my own business, doing data entry work versus, you know, answering phones as a receptionist / office administrator maybe. But my way of looking at it, even though I may not have the qualifications in that as I'm looking at it right now, is I want to reach out to people and help people on the spectrum of, you know, AS versus autism versus everything else, and just be a voice for the people, as I've said many times before while I'm on the videos, that's what I'm here for, mentoring you guys, as well as to support you all in your, you know, time of need. As we know, I'm currently a graduate. That's probably, as may label me as, maybe, I don't know if it's going to be the right word for me, of this top work current, you know, employment status is unemployed maybe, which I don't like to use it, but then again, you know, it might be a right word for looking at it. But, you know, as I said, I've been trying to seek work after my graduation and before my graduation ceremony this year of March 2016, and I've been getting a lot of no's lately, and I've been trying to push myself as much as I can just to, you know, seek out and reach out, even though, yes, many people may have said that, you know, might have to just do voluntary work yet again, but I need something that's more, you know, substantial for me and actually will pay the bills now, because I'm coming of age now, that I'm trying not to get so nervous and stressed out about it, about, you know, certain age group that people hire. I feel it's all about the age factor of certain, you know, work fields that you go for, that they'll go for those, as well as maybe the experience versus, I don't know, the maturity level, basically, of a person. Maybe I could be wrong. But bear in mind, though, I'm willing to actually offer my skills and, you know, well, talents, or whatever you want to call them, in the workforce pretty much, you know. But at the same time though, yes, I have been having a lot of spare time on my hands, regardless, doing these videos while I'm being actually also just job seeking versus hopefully if all time permits me and if I've got enough funds this month. Fingers crossed. I still haven't done my learners. I've been putting it off for quite some time due to my anxiety versus my, you know, nervousness and all this. But that's the norm for me, even though, like, as I've said in one of my videos, probably the reason being why I've held myself in the way of, you know, getting this learners, even though, yes, I'm coming of age again, being 29, that, before I continue my story here or my update of this series of employment, is because, you know, I feel that at the moment that, yes, my anxiety might go up, even though I've seen and witnessed, or even being in the car with somebody makes me nervous, you know, especially when you're supposed to know the road rules around here, you know, but some people just don't tend to. They tend to think they can rule the roads and knock over pedestrians and cyclists or whatever else in the way. I know may not sound true, but that's how I've witnessed it, hence so many accidents in this time frame. But anywho, unlike any of you though, however, you know, giving up my spare time, trying to seek out work, trying to show what I can give in the organisation, as I said, you know. But in my spare time also, I like to try and, you know, develop social networks, you know, relationships versus, you know, just relationships in general in the workforce or wherever it may be, where I engage with people somehow and be able to just support others, as I said, as a mentor, advocate, or whatever other title we're going to call this. I'm trying not to give up, however, regardless of the no's I've been getting, or just regardless of the lack of employment that's going on in the chosen field I want to be, even though, like, I've been told time and time again, try not to be picky of some of the jobs. I'm trying not to be picky, but I'm just trying to balance out, you know, what's best suited for me and my well-being versus, you know, the area I'm living in, basically. You know, since I'm not living close to town where I am at the moment, I'm now, you know, out of town, and I have to travel on buses and whatnot to get into town most days, and that costs, obviously, for me as a, you know, patron. But other than that, though, as I said, that I find that sometimes with the life experiences, however, versus your education and employment history, basically, this is just how I see it. Sometimes it doesn't count, because obviously, yeah, okay, some employers may look at the category, you know, how much, you know, where you've worked versus, you know, your employment, you know, education history and your character profile and whatnot. So I'm going to maybe think outside the square and do another video based on my, hopefully a shorter version of my CV, and hopefully see how that goes, but we'll see how we go later on. For people that hopefully can engage with me in New Zealand, at least in the area I'm living in, of the Lower North Island. Many people may know where I am because they've spotted me. I find it nerve-wracking for me, okay, overwhelming to a point that, you know, I have to get up in the morning and taking that stride now of the unstep of the unknown, of, you know, the what-ifs, maybes, and everything else inside of me. Hopefully that's, you know, trying to remain as positive as I can and confident as well, rolled up into one, regardless how I might feel, even though, you know, it's really hard for me, basically, to try and keep my nerves out of the way. I am at this point now, as I said, trying to brave out applying for jobs no matter what it is, hopefully, but sometimes some jobs that I know I can't cater to, you know, regardless, you know, not just the job type as such, but maybe, like, I'm learning just to do baby steps of maybe just weaning myself into work instead of rushing myself straight into full-time employment, basically, because I'm hoping in the near future, if my body and, you know, all my other well-being inside of me will allow me. It's not because I'm being lazy or making excuses, so hopefully, please, people, whoever's watching this, don't think that I'm making excuses for myself regardless of what's going on, you know, with this present time of what I'm going through. Just hoping that you can gain the understanding of how I work as a person, you know. Sometimes, like, despite that, getting turned down, besides the bundle of nerves as well as the other, emotions or feelings that I may have feel when I do try to, apply, will be nice. Though 9 times 10, I know that many of us feel downhearted sometimes when we get the no's, or even sometimes, or most of the time, we don't even hear back from that potential employer that we applied for the job, which is actually quite saddening, because really, in all honesty and reality here, how I look at it for my sake, as well as maybe for others that may agree with me or not, I feel communication is supposed to be important, regardless, even if you are an employee or potential employer or whatever the case may be, so that hopefully that people just will be at ease, because it will be good for me as well, because, then I'll know if it was a yay or a nay, then I can just keep moving forward and keep job seeking in other areas, regardless what it may be. I'm capable and willing to work, yet trying not to, take offence to whatever the reasons why I'm not, hired or, eligible for that particular job. Yet I'll admit it's difficult for me, yes, for many of people like me that is on the spectrum, as I'm doing anything and everything in my willpower just to, think outside the square if I have to, basically, of, in the terms of employment, regardless what it may be, basically. And I'm just hoping that at this time that, regardless of me thinking outside the square, that hopefully a potential employer can spot me there and then and think, oh, she's thinking outside the square, because most employers may be looking at that kind of quality in us, think outside the box. I am, as I said, trying my hardest to get noticed, not in a way of hopefully, showing off or dressing up in a wrong way just to get that attention from that potential employer, because you never know, as they say, especially nowadays, that the future employers are looking on our Facebook page, I'm guessing, and actually trying to figure out from our photos versus, every other information that maybe they're looking for is what is required in our everyday, age, because obviously technology is taking over versus the, paper CV. So obviously they'll look into either some, platform, be it Facebook, maybe LinkedIn, just to see who and what we are as a person. But that, to me, doesn't always guarantee to actually know us as a person, regardless if they say pictures tells 1,000 words. It will be better if they actually meet the person in general to get a better understanding and actually a better knowledge of knowing who and what we are as a person, regardless of, especially in my case, of the person behind the, label of depression, especially syndrome and the like, which I know I've got a lot of, competitions lying on me, but I try, like I said, I try to beat every one of them and just manage as much as I can, when I can. It's not always easy, but, we'll get there in the end. I could be wrong on this, and another reasoning behind it, before I continue on about what I want to share, even though it's part of what I'm sharing, is basically trying not to be too offended in a way of maybe how or what I say, to people in a way of, as they call themselves, selling yourself, as a person, how you're going to be reflected in that job category that you chose. I may be old-fashioned when it comes down to selling myself or just introducing myself to social network versus, getting out there in the workforce and just, knock on doors and just, talk to certain people in certain businesses, introduce myself. Here's an example. Like, I would probably say, good morning, I'm Kieran McLean, I've just come into your organisation right now. I'm just, seeking work right now. Is there any jobs available? Basically, if not, here's my CV. Basically, and another alternative, if I want to negotiate with them, if there's none at present, I could say, if I am really desperate, which it is at this time, I'm getting desperate, is hopefully maybe negotiate with them and maybe just do two days for 3 hours of doing something that's in that job force that, either sitting behind a desk, answering phones, be it data entry, be it whatever it may be, and then after those 2 days of just maybe, no pay, they can yay or nay me, which can be difficult at times because, it's just tough for everybody, obviously, in this day and age, in the world of economy versus, where we are in this day and age, where we're going for this day and age. I'm doing to the best of my ability to get out of my comfort zone. As I said before, with my social anxiety, sometimes that can really drag me down depending on who I'm with at that given moment of time. If I am comfortable and at ease with you, you'll know about it, because obviously, as I said in one of my videos, I would be basically making that direct eye contact with you, and that no matter what, that, I am at ease with you. And if you feel that, when I'm meeting you the first time, even if I come out with the 3 C's, as I said before, cool, calm, collected versus, shy and socially awkward, that's just how I work at the moment, and I try to shape shift each, bits and pieces where I am of the different situations, regardless what it may be. And that in that point of time also is many people misunderstand or misinterpret me, that if I'm not making direct eye contact with you, now and again, if I meet you for the first time, they may think that, I'm being rude, or I'm not actually engaging in a way of, listening to you, or whatever the case may be. But bear in mind, that assumption of me is wrong. I do fully pay attention, regardless if I'm looking at the ground or looking at my knees or fiddling around, while I'm stimming, doing my stim, fiddling around my fingers or what have you, when I'm a little nervous and shy in that, clicking my tongue or whatever case may be of my form of stimming, where it comes out. That basically now and again, don't make that assumption about me or others that are like me, because you never know. Even though I am getting better with my eye contact, regardless if I know you or not, sometimes, I try to make sure with my way of, withholding my glance or, eye contact with you, I make sure to quickly make a quick 2-minute break and then re-engage with you, because many people have now managed to find with me, I'm a bit, off-putting sometimes if I'm really looking at you hours on end, basically, which I hope doesn't make me come as a bad person, but as again, just sharing with you how I work. Despite all of the, anxiety and everything else, while I'm getting out of that, comfort zone, I need to get my tasks done, regardless what it may be. As I've done in the past, I've been trying to meet people in general about seeking jobs, as well as trying to talk over the phone, even though many businesses, small or large, won't allow for outside contact with people, asking about jobs maybe on the line. That's why they expect probably us to try and make that bold step to actually come into their office and talk to them. Yes, I've got many weaknesses, but I am working on them, regardless what they may be, like anybody would, if given the chance. Regardless of my weaknesses I have of that particular job position I'm applying for, I am willing to give anything a go and actually learn new skills or what have you that is required if I haven't got those skills. I am willing also, if given the chance, to show what I can be as an asset to you as a team or in your business, regardless what, job prospect it may be. I'm sure as anything, we can negotiate along the way, though, basically, of working together. I'm, like I said, willing to learn new things. If I was to train or self-teach myself like I usually do, I will, self-learn some of the policies and procedures that's put in place in the organisation, and just some certain maybe policies and procedures, basically, that needs to be known before I actually, if I was hard or not, But here, bear in mind though, okay, let's be frank here, that I'm maybe a few of many people that don't like to take a personality character profile test, okay? I have my own personal reasons and being for this, which I will not disclose because many of you may not agree with me, but I'll share with you some bits later on in the piece about a few questions or a series of questions or scenarios that I will answer to you, because I've noticed that some jobs now will require us to have these personality character tests before we actually sit forward. And I've noticed also that, like, when I applied for a job in Configure Express in 2013-14-ish, I think from memory, was through Student Job Search, and in that Configure Express workforce, it was for a job position of an administration as reception role. You see, for the record, you have about me as well as my personality in general, but then again, this will contradict basically, you know, because obviously also if you see me in a flash, obviously it will speak louder than it does on paper with this personality characteristic traits of what I show out to you as a person. Some of these tests tend to contradict one another in how they ask you in a series of questions who hasn't met you in person, or even just relying on the computer, or even, you know, not knowing about autism, especially behind the screen. Not many people may realise that some people are autistic or whatever other condition maybe while applying, and like, you know, many people may just even also maybe another alternative is just rely on the computer to be grading and marking our answers regardless what we give them, not knowing that, you know, I've got Asperger's syndrome along with all these other underlying conditions, that it may jolly well take away, you know, some of the ideal or deemed, maybe not deemed appropriate or suitable for the employment that's, you know, suitable, appropriate employment that they think is right for me, not to even reach it to the next stage of interviewing me and meeting me in person and actually getting to know me behind all this, you know. Okay, there are a series of questions or scenarios that they may ask in any of us, okay, not just for people with autistic or autism, and they are as follows. Okay, I've just picked out a few from what I was watching, and now I'm going to share my outtake or answer to this, so please bear in mind what I'm about to share. Okay, and here are a few, and I'll answer the best as I can and to my ability, so please bear with me. So number one is, throughout the day or over the course of the day, I can experience many different mood changes. My answer to this is sure, yes, definitely, I do, okay, and will experience this. Many different mood changes. As I can say, as during the day, this will depend on where I am and what I am doing at that current stage that will actually change my moods, regardless what it is, you know, that will affect me. Number two, being in a bad mood can affect my work. Answer to this one, or my response is, despite whatever mood I am in, I believe in my ability that I can, as a person behind the mask of Asperger's syndrome, if we remove that, I can actually, you know, remove that mood away from that and put it away for a time and just continue to work in my best and my ability. Okay, and yes, anyone with a bad mood can affect the work, you know, load they're doing at hand, as well as also it just affects others around us of these moods that we share. I can believe that whatever role I play at work, I can just carry on with my duties regardless. If the workload was forever taking its toll on me or it's too much, I shall only then ask for assistance and guidance, or even just ask someone to cover for me for at least 5 to 10 minutes, hopefully. Because, you know, everyone needs their breaks, and this is important for me when it gets too overwhelming, obviously, because that's when I tend to have my meltdowns, which I've shared before. I believe also if I had a bad day, not to take it out on my work colleagues, but to be sure to at least take accountability for my own actions, thoughts, and, you know, behaviours towards others as well as towards myself. Some days, if they were bad for me, I may end up stopping what I was doing and go to the back end of the office if there was one, an office or something where private, you know, if in doubt, you know, and if it's quiet, obviously for this part, to close the door. And usually when it gets too overwhelming, I have different types of meltdowns, like I've said. I'll just bear in mind this, I can't say to you, determine that it will or may likely to affect or for it to interfere, yet I'll say this, you know, of my workload. If it does, you know, affect me or not, you know, I'll apologise in advance and tell you that these will come and go of these meltdown types that I've shared so many times before. But I can manage them, and I'm still capable and able to do the set given task, even if it means I need extra time, I should say, to complete the task that you've given me. Yet it may look like I'm slow, yet I can work effectively and efficiently to get it all accurately done. I also know my own limits. I try my best and hardest not to let them interfere with my daily work of these meltdowns as I've just shared. I just need some neurotypicals to know how to work with me and not against me. Number 3, I can read people's emotions. Okay, it's another one. Okay, for some autistics, many can't read emotions. I was one of them once upon a time. Yet now, after doing a few papers and self-teaching, learning on my own, to agree, I can say to agree, okay, with heads held high for me, I can now read people's emotions. Yet again, this will I'll have to, again, that term shape shifts to understand others and everything they say and do. I'm learning every day of new experiences and situations, just like you all are as well, however. Okay, having and feeling the desire to know what others are thinking and why others may act this way, will be a given. Yet, do we want to know everything is a question that many people will ask me if I really want to know what's going on. To me, we should be able to express ourselves, as best as we could. I have the desires, passions and dreams like you lot, to achieve everything I can, yet I understand more now about emotions than I ever did. And also, it's also important to communicate to me. Even though many people may think I shouldn't know everything what goes down, but I feel that, when things are changing so fast in a certain environment, regardless where I'm working, it pays to, because then hopefully I can just try my hardest to be prepared and ready for what is to come. Number 4, last but not least, I think of the questions I want to address to you all. Always know that I have a good mood or a bad mood. Again, no, I don't know if I have a good mood or a bad mood. Okay, as I can't switch between the two. Having a different type of meltdowns as I've just shared basically in one of my videos. Do check them out of the different types of how I go about it versus the treatments and whatever they are, how I define them. Find them on the Asperger's syndrome and meltdown series. Okay, as a reference, so that you can understand where I'm coming from for what I'm sharing with you. Okay, is that it will stem off from something or nothing at all, however. I can be fine and feel I'm in a safe place of comfort and knowing where I am, and a few minutes later, if anything has changed in the day, any of my meltdowns will come. So avoiding or dealing with these is to be sure to find a distraction, routine, or a repetitive activity to keep it away, and other techniques that I've learned to keep me calm and at ease. I feel to these answers given so far, especially for number 4 of these statements, that I don't know, or for me to be honest and real to this, these may or may not be the answers that you want or have wished for from me to hear, as this could lead me to losing out on a job opportunity, as said before, that I thought I'll have. Yet again, I guess it's how I speak and how I produce myself, or what I speak out as, what I speak as. Or even how I think and what I think is another, logic there to share. It's due to, again, maybe, I don't know, lack of awareness, understanding between us both, maybe. What I'm saying is this, though, to end this, is applying for jobs for me can be full of mixed emotion that involves me taking steps into the unknown and uncertainty, as well as out of my comfort zone. This part of my journey is a must, obviously, like for any of us. We all have to take these personality tests when needed, whenever it arises. We don't get out of it just because we are autistic, or have any form of conditions, however. So with some of the personality tests and just writing my cover letters to potential future employers, that I'm being real and being myself, obviously, in that. So I hope that this is good enough for them, yet I feel I want to pay any expenses that are due, or pay for any necessities that I may need, regardless, like I said in the beginning, that it's been hard, and hopefully I will be able to find it. Also, while I'm being real to you, I don't wish to be like everyone else, as I don't need to validate my feelings anymore or ask for permission into how and what I'm thinking or feeling. Yet that sure as hell stinks to how these tests works, however. For most of us, we're fighting a never-ending battle. Okay, because of this, it's many of us are being able to, regardless of what condition it is, but not having it as a form of a disability, to hinder us, regardless if it's, you're discriminating us on the grounds of disability versus age versus whatever it may be. Maybe, I don't know, I'm just saying it out there. If we can't get jobs because of us being autistic, to the answers of we give you and the personality characters, it's not what you want, it isn't good enough, however. This isn't the fear is we need a chance to show ourselves, or to you lot especially, what we can do. Some things need to change, like maybe, I don't know, like more acceptance, maybe other people's opinions, you know, regardless of who and what they are, what they think about us or perceives in us, as well as, you know, us maybe perceiving in you, neurotypicals, how you treat us. Acceptance of others, tolerance of others, understanding and empathy of us. Well, that ends basically the 8th employment of the personality profile test 1 of what I'm sharing with you all. Thanks for watching and your support so far. For the ones that has been with me and journeying with me, you know, give me the thumbs up for the like and support. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Facebook, AspieAnswersAll. Private message me on Facebook if need be on AspieAnswersAll. Basically, also share some videos and that to family and friends, basically, if you feel the need or must or have to, so that people can gain each other's understanding and knowledge and know-how. So, in all further ado, love what you do what you love, do what you know, love what you do what you love. Be kind to one another, be true to yourself. And once again, thanks for watching. I'll see you all again soon.